Yowza, what's up everyone? It's not just your average Joe. So I kind of want to talk about which of the cavalry units in general with the Blarblade tone would be the best. Well, the blue tone ones, right? So you have Ursula, Reinhardt, and Olwen, and when you're eyeballing it, Reinhardt seems to be the strongest. Well, not seems he's the strongest user of the Blarblade Plus, but it doesn't seem most efficient. Even with the home cavalry, his speed will go to 29 at neutral speed, and at plus speed, that'll be what, 26? So that's 32. So he's not outspeeding anyone anytime soon, but he can outspeed some units. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then Owen seems to be the best user, quote unquote, because of the speed stat. So let's just get to start and see where that takes us. Nope, what am I doing? Okay, so I went to the damage calculator, right? And I put 5 units to make a comparison. And then to make this as fair as possible to Ursula, we'll start off with everyone neutral, and then I'll do a plus attack one comparing everyone. Because it's not really a fair comparison if everyone's plus attack minus Ursula, because you can't. So everyone has a certain resistance debuff, and everyone has death blow, the set that Ursula comes with, because of this might be the best way to showcase who's the best user of it is. So let's start off with Julia. So with the Blarblade, right, Reinhardt does 33 damage and doesn't get outsped, right? So that's the difference between him and facing someone like and him having Dire Thunder. If he has Dire Thunder, he takes a lot more damage and doesn't do as much damage as he does with the Blarblade Plus, right? My only issue is if you're looking at this and you think, oh, maybe I should. Maybe I should just give Reinhardt Dire Thunder. Blarblade Plus. Then I just want to show you everyone else, right? So before you make your decision, let's compare Titania. So she goes to 13 HP. She doesn't get outsped because she's pretty fast. And that's 24 damage. So we're gonna compare that to Dire Thunder. And he doesn't do as much, right? So that's 14 damage. Not much. Ooh, Titania the tank. Taking these hits like a boss. Okay, so, and then we're gonna go to Owen, who obviously gets one shot, 56 damage, and then you compare Dire Thunder, and then he does 52 damage at neutral, right? And then Alphonse obviously loses. 46 damage, that's not too bad with the Dire Thunder, and then we're gonna compare Blarblade Plus, right? 80 damage. That's impressive. I'm speechless, actually. 80 damage? Okay, we're gonna go to May, since she has decent resistance, and then she gets one shot as well. So 56 damage from Reinhardt, which is not bad. And he does, and if you put Dire Thunder, it does 28, so 52. So it seems that Blarblade Plus seems to be the superior tone. When you look at these things for Reinhardt, but I still think personally that he's better off with Dire Thunder still. Only because it's for SP efficiency's sake, and I feel like having a faster active skill cooldown also helps a lot. It helps in certain cases, and this is a neutral Reinhardt. I mean, even let's go back to Julia, make it a plus attack Reinhardt, right? Plus attack. So with a Dire Thunder, Julia's left with 12 HP, and then you're gonna Blarblade Plus. So she's left with 2 HP. So Blarblade Plus is better in attacking Julia. And we're gonna do the same with Titania. So he does 26 damage, and you compare that to the neutral one, 24. So every damage counts, every difference counts. And then we're gonna go to Olwen as well, and he does 28 times 2 with the Dire Thunder as a plus attack. He does 62 damage in total against Owen, and then Blarblade Plus, He does 59 damage. So what's a plus attack, the damage calculation is a little bit different. He's a little bit stronger with the Dire Thunder than he is with the Blarblade Plus, but he's by no means ineffective with the Blarblade Plus. Like clearly, you can see that he's like Titania and Julia are both mage tanks, so they're doing decent damage to them. 83, so that's not a surprise. It really shouldn't be. That's a plus attack, and then even if you do the Dire Thunder, I don't think Alphonse loses the first hit either. Yeah, so that's 50 times 2, so that's 100. When you think about it, the Dire Thunder does a little more damage, just not on actual like on paper it does more damage, but then the units don't have enough HP to compensate for it. So plus attack Dire Thunder, so he does 62 damage to Mei, and he actually gets a cooldown off, and then you compare that to Blarblade Plus, and then Blarblade Plus does 59 damage. So when you're looking at the plus attack stat, it does seem like the Dire Thunder is still the better option comparing to the neutral one, and you're doing a lot more damage on paper via Dire Thunder than you are with Blarblade Plus. But you know, that's just nitpicking at this point. So let's move on to Ursula. So she can only be neutral, right? And we're gonna go to Julia. So she actually, this is impressive. She actually can one-shot Julia on her own, especially because she can double her. And she does 62 damage to Julia, she's a good magic tank. Like, she can take hits like a boss. If she didn't double, well, no. Even if Julia was plus defense, the Home Cavalry would put Ursula at 38 speed, so she would double Julia no matter what. And then you're gonna go to Titania. So she does 22 damage to Titania, and I think Reinhardt may do, as a plus attack, I think Reinhardt does more, 26, but even at a neutral, Ursula may do more. No, that doesn't make sense. So 24 damage from Reinhardt, and then you compare it to Ursula, who does 22. So, you know, Reinhardt's more damage. When they're not doubling, Reinhardt's clearly the better option, but when they are doubling, then it seems that Ursula is the better option. So we'll go to Olwen as well. 53 damage, and then I think Reinhardt with the Blarblade Plus is 56. So, and then that's not including the plus attack. The plus attack will make her stronger. Alphonse obviously gets demolished as well. He's too slow, 76 damage. He's pretty close to the damage that Reinhardt was doing. And then you have Mei, 53 damage, just straight up 53 damage. So when you're comparing Reinhardt and Ursula does double units. That's the huge difference, because she would double Mei in theory, and she would do 106 damage. In theory, right? On paper, because she's faster than Mei. Because Mei has speed of 31, and then with the Home Cavalry, Ursula goes to the 38. But at plus speed, Mei won't get doubled. So, you know, that's just something to consider. And then we'll lastly look at Owen. So she's the weakest of the three, but she also seems to be the best one out of the three. So let's go look at Julia. She dies. You know, that's 56 damage. Yeah, that's 56 damage in total for Owen against Julia. And then if you compare Reinhardt, this is a neutral one, by the way, the Blarblade Plus. He just does like the 133 damage. And then if you make this a plus attack, Owen, then she does 64 damage. So thus far, I personally think that Owen might be the best user, because she's the fastest unit of the Blarblade Cavalry users. So Titania, she at neutral, she one-shots Titania too. That's something neither Reinhardt nor Ursula could do, no matter what tomes they had. No matter what they really had, even the plus attack one. And this is a neutral Owen, right? The key thing is she hits 40 speed, so she doubles Titania if Titania's not plus speed. So she does 40 damage, and that's just enough to get rid of Titania, who is a good magic. She's good at tanking magic hits. And then we're gonna move on to Olwen, you know, herself. She does 150 damage, but again, if you think about it on paper, it's 100 damage because she's double. Well, yeah, she's doubling herself because she will hit 40 speed. Especially if the Owen has Dire Thunder. And this is not really, it is funny to me when I see Alphonse demolished. But this is 73 times 2 also. So that's how much damage that um, Owen's doing to Alphonse. That's 146. And then lastly you have May, right? So May is a good tank. She takes 50, so it's 100 damage. Uh, and the key difference was Titania. So that's kind of how I wanted to compare it. Like, are these two green units, a couple blue units, and the red unit? The red unit was the least important one because they were for sure gonna get demolished no matter what. And then, this is just kind of to showcase the importance of the speed stat. I'm biased. I really love Ursula. He's one of my favorite units, but it seems that Owen is the best user of the Blarblade tome. That, as far as I saw, as far as you saw. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know how this went. You know, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, and maybe if I got something wrong, maybe comparisons were poor. Anything could have done differently to make a better fair comparison. I'm always looking for that. So, yeah, the conclusion is Owen is the best user of the cavalry units for Blu-ray Plus, and yeah, that's everything. Thank you for watching, and later days.